Hey guys, today I have a different kind of video going on. I'm playing with my new brush markers from Ohuhu. It took me forever to get my hands on them and even longer to make this video. They're about $35 on Amazon for 48 colors, and it's the cheapest brush marker that I could find that had a ton of good reviews. It comes with all of your unnecessary packaging that I'm probably going to lose and never find again. The first thing I did was sort all of the markers out by color. As with all of my art supplies, I make my own swatches so that I can easily just glance over for the color that I need instead of playing the guessing game or having that awful surprise of color not being what I thought it was. Being that it's a 48 color set, you're going to be limited in what you can do. There are a lot of bright, bold colors, mostly reds and greens and blues. From what I can see, there aren't many natural tones or skin tones, so you're going to have to go with a different medium to get those. Once I had these swatched out, I could really tell the difference between their color chart and mine. Theirs seemed like the colors were a lot lighter than they actually were, which is pretty common. I have yet to use any art supply that actually matches up with the company swatch. As soon as I started even thinking about getting these markers, I followed Ohuhu on Instagram. And shortly after I got the markers, Ohuhu held a contest for summer-themed art. They're going to be picking 20 people to award prizes to of all their different supplies, and I couldn't resist entering, even though it's been a good 20 years since I played with markers, and I was pretty sure it was going to turn out awful. But I drew out this image of a girl and her dog and her cat in the garden because that is what I think of when I think of summer. Generally, every summer, that's what we're all doing is working out in the garden, and my dog and cat are right there finding something to play with or some grass to eat. Just getting into general trouble. As you can see on my channel, one of my favorite people to watch is Drawing with Waffles, and for the last year or so, I really had like a battle in my head. I haven't drawn or colored with markers since elementary school, and a big part of me says that I am a grown adult and I don't need markers. But I think we all as artists have like these preconceived notions in our head about what kinds of artists we're supposed to be. Like, I don't feel like a real artist if I'm not trying my hardest to make things look super realistic and super detailed, and it's got to come to life off the paper. But that is just exhausting. And sometimes I don't want to be spending hours just to get a tiny little bit of a piece done. I need those little mental breaks of fun and pops of color that are quick and easy. And I like drawing illustrations or like cartoon animals and people. It's definitely a guilty pleasure that I just don't do enough. But anyway, back to these markers. Like I said, I haven't used markers since I was a kid, and I chose the brush markers because I wanted to be able to have the easier time blending with them. But I also didn't want to spend like crazy money like you would on Copic markers. And if I didn't like them, then I could just give them away. It was no big break to my bank. They were super easy to blend and layer. The hardest thing for me to get used to with these is like, bam, color. And the only pale color in this set is the cool gray. Other and it's not like with colored pencil or watercolor where you can like get that gradation or a light to dark tone. It's not really an issue if like that's your thing and you just want those bold colors, but it was kind of hard for me to get used to. For this specific drawing, I chose not to use anything other than a fine liner and a bit of white gel pen on because I was trying to see what I could do with just the markers. In the future, I want to explore like crazy with these. I think it would be so fun to layer colored pencil on top of them, and I have seen some really cool work with marker and colored pencil, so videos like that will definitely be popping up on this channel in the future. It was so easy to layer with these. I know I said that before, but I think I might have went a little overboard with just how fast I was layering and how much ink I was putting on the paper at one time. While I was going crazy on the stone fence, my paper was soaking because I really wasn't sure how I was going to do the fence, so I was kind of just winging it and slapping down all kinds of colors that I thought would help it make it look more stony, I guess. And I don't know why I did such a huge drawing because one of the main reasons that I grabbed these markers was so that I could do little quicker drawings, but I wanted to make this big enough to do like a coloring page out of eventually, and it's one of a bazillion things to do on my list. I will get there someday. But anyway, when I entered it into the contest, I was not expecting anything. I had seen a lot of really cool drawings, and compared to what I normally try to draw, I did not really like this drawing. I was going for cartoony, but even this felt just like a little too cartoony and stiff and flat, and not like the cute cartoony, just bad cartoony. So when they said that mine had been picked for the top 20, I can honestly say I was pretty surprised. They really did give everyone a fair shot, and while I wasn't in love with my actual drawing, playing with the markers and the actual laying down of color was super fun. The best part is it was kind of similar to colored pencils and watercolor in the way as like more layers you put on, eventually things start looking how you want them to. Overall, these markers held up awesome. I was kind of rough with some of them during the blending and they held together with no problems. And they didn't fall apart or dry out. There really wasn't too much of a learning curve because it's markers. They're pretty easy to figure out. The best part is when I got picked for the top 20, they sent me out another set of this same set of 48. So when I run out of these, at least I'll have some backup. And they also sent out a set of 20 watercolor brush pens, and those were what I was most excited to get. I love watercolor everything, and I hope to be doing a lot more videos with those pretty soon. I would definitely buy these markers again though. I believe I saw somewhere that there was going to be a 120 set in October, and I'm going to have to get my hands on those too. If you're looking for a great inexpensive brush marker, these definitely fit the bill. I wish I had a lot of the paler colors, but just like with any set, 48 isn't really going to give you a great variation. I kind of wish I'd waited until there was a 120 set, but now I know I love using brush markers, and I'm definitely going to have to build up a collection. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please don't forget to hit the like and the subscribe button, and I will see you next time.